More news starts now with a breaking news alert.
A busy Livonia intersection, 5 Mile and Middle Belt, is the scene of that breaking news.
Livonia PD telling us an officer shot a man who had a gun and was pointing it at that officer. Let's get right to Victor Williams live near that scene. Victor, you've heard from at least one witness to this since we spoke to you at 5 o'clock. What they have to say?
Yeah, totally correct, Kimberly and Ty. They're still just shaken up by this whole thing, and even still, cops are right here on site, still doing their investigation. But we are finding out more about the man who was shot by police. It's a 31-year-old suspect who's now being treated at the hospital. We're told by police that he was acting pretty aggressive when holding a gun, prompting people to call 911. Once officers made it here to the scene at the cell phone repair center, they say that the man ended up pointing the gun at officers, and that's what caused him to actually be shot by police. One woman explains to us the chaos of hearing shots being fired, along with the urgent response coming from other police officers who wasted no time getting here.
I was parked in the parking lot across the street, and it was 8 gunshots. It was 3, pop, 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 then a space, and then 5 more consecutive shots. And after the shots were fired, I was actually over there on that side of the parking lot under a tree. I had gone to get some lunch, and conservatively, the first police officer that came down was probably doing 65.
We're also told that no officers were injured, but police aren't saying much at this time. We are, however, learning or hoping to learn more, at least for later shows. In the meantime, we are live in Livonia. Victor Williams, Local 4.
And we know you'll stay on top of it, Victor. Thanks.
All right, our other top story tonight, a young firefighter in Warren is in hot water for posting a photo following a house fire.
Yeah, it's because of this picture here. He's standing inside a burned home with his lieutenant and his teammates. Well, a viewer upset by the post called us about it, so we went to the fire commissioner's office for some answers. Priya Mans joins us from Warren. And Priya, what's the commission saying about this?
Hey, good evening, Ty. Well, the fire commissioner says it was unacceptable and there will be consequences, but it also sparked a broader conversation about young workers and the use of social media. And the fire commissioner says this is a teachable moment.
I saw this one first.
This photo of Warren firefighters posing inside a home following a fire is catching some heat.
He recognizes it was a loss for the family, and he made a mistake.
The 22-year-old firefighter posted the photo on social media honoring his team with the caption, "Good work, boys." But the fire commissioner says there was a clear lack of sensitivity for the homeowner.
Our rush has to be tempered with a sense of loss. And as a young firefighter, he let his exuberance overcome good judgment.
The first alarm fire on Dominic Drive Thursday evening was contained within 20 minutes. No one was injured, and the photo was taken 2 hours after crews first got on scene.
The fire commissioner says for a lot of veteran firefighters, when a photo is taken at the scene, this is what they expect will happen. The picture is framed and put up on a wall. But the problem is it's now being posted on social media.
Given the age and the seniority of the employee, I said, oh, a kid. They post their food on social media.
It might not make sense to seasoned professionals, but it's different for younger workers.
I mean, I have a kid his age who's a firefighter here. And
so you get it?
Yes.
The photo was quickly taken down, and the young firefighter has since apologized for posting it.
As a father, as a fire commissioner, as the department head, I can't wait for them to grow up.
But unfortunately, part of growing up is you have to learn a few lessons along the way. Yeah, this is certainly one of those tough lessons. The fire commissioner is working on getting a meeting between that young firefighter and the homeowner. The home, by the way, was not a total loss, and the cause seems to be accidental. When it comes to punishment, both that young firefighter who posted the photo as well as his lieutenant will face some sort of disciplinary action that can range from a write-up to a suspension to a termination. That decision will be made next week. Reporting live in Warren, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Well, it sounds like that young firefighter and the department are owning up to it, and that's the best stance to take. Priya, thank you.
A second suspect is now in custody for allegedly planning to shoot up a high school graduation in Pontiac. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office says their deputies quick actions likely foiled the plot. The two suspects were involved in a fight Tuesday at the Arts and Technology Academy of Pontiac's graduation ceremony. Police responding to UWM's sports complex found the suspects hiding 2 guns under cars in the parking lot, each loaded with 40 rounds of ammunition. Officers later learning about a threat posted to Snapchat to shoot up the ceremony.
And I believe probably prevented a mass shooting. When you consider the weapons that were there, the individuals that were involved who have a history of being involved with weapons and violence.
Both suspects have criminal histories, and one is currently on probation for a weapons offense. Charges are expected to be filed over the weekend.
Tonight, a man is charged with animal torture. Ferndale police say he used scissors to cut a puppy's ears. Someone called 911 early this morning to report a crying animal near Woodward and Bennett. That's where this all started. When police got there, they saw a man crouched next to a Ford Escape with an open hatchback. Officers then found this 3-month-old puppy inside the Escape with a garbage bag over its head. The dog's ears had been severed and its tail was tied off in preparation for removal. There were scissors and surgical supplies nearby. When police tried to arrest Curtis Martin, this man right here, he ran away, but he was quickly caught. He's now charged with second-degree animal torture and resisting an officer. That could land him up to 7 years in jail and a $5,000 fine. The dog is in stable condition, we're told, at Oakland County Animal Control, and will get treatment until it is healthy enough to be adopted out.
Wow. Well, we are still waiting to see some relief from this poor air quality caused by smoke from Canadian wildfires. Sky 4 in the Southfield area showing just how hazy, my goodness, the air was just over an hour ago here.
Yeah, hard not to look at that, let alone breathe it. Right now, Detroit has actually some of the worst air quality in the world, and health experts are advising people with breathing issues and other health issues to simply avoid being outdoors if possible. Stay indoors.
That's right. Ron Hilliard is in for Kim Adams with the latest on the conditions outside. Ron, with the weekend here, people are wondering if we'll have some clear air for all the events that are happening.
And Kimberly and Ty, we are hoping for some relief, at least from the poor quality that we have right now here in Metro Detroit. But we will still have some issues with air quality through the weekend until at least we can get some rain moving through, which could happen on Sunday. If not getting it on Sunday, the rest of us getting it on Monday. A look into Detroit. We have a lot of people headed to Comerica Park for the Tigers game, and you're going to be getting this air quality, poor conditions. Now, 73 is the current temp for Detroit. We're in the lower to mid 70s across Southeast Michigan. This is what you need to know. This air quality is really poor. This is something that's harmful for anyone, regardless of having pre-existing conditions or respiratory conditions. Right here, as we go into Metro Detroit, you'll see that some of the communities impacted right now, Hazel Park, Rochester Hills, even going over into Fraser, Roseville, we are seeing that really poor air. It is best to stay indoors, as mentioned, rolling up those windows and keeping windows closed. I'm going to have more on this issue coming up, Ty.
Right, Ron, thank you. Well, the spirit of Detroit all decked out in orange today for a good cause, ending gun violence. Today's rally in downtown is just one of 19 events for a month of action called Silence the Violence. J. Scott Smith shows us why leaders from City Hall to a local hospital found it important to send a message today.
Enough is enough.
Everyone came out in orange for a Silence the Violence rally as part of National Gun Violence Awareness Day. The orange is the color that hunters wear to protect themselves in the woods, meaning don't shoot. And it's a day that's quickly gathered steam across the country.
We lose so many of our young people to gun violence. It continues to really tear the very fabric of our city, causing trauma in our communities. And so we have to continue to be united.
The rally was organized by Pastor Barry Randolph of the Church of the Messiah. And a driving message of the rally is that speaking up and speaking out about gun violence and gun safety is vital to the survival of the community.
The fear is real. Gun violence is real. But I would say be encouraged.
Detroit Police Chief Todd Bettison stressed that crime and gun violence numbers have been on the decline in the city, but noted that preventing gun violence is also about being smart about gun safety.
When you have visitors that come to your house, ask them, do you have a firearm? Oftentimes a person may go to use your restroom and take their firearm off, leave it somewhere on a counter and forget about it, and then a child walks in.
According to the CDC, There are approximately 27,000 unintentional gun injuries and 500 unintentional gun deaths per year in the United States. Dr. Larry Diebel, the trauma program director at DMC Detroit Receiving Hospital, has seen the ravages of gun violence firsthand.
This winter, I took care of a young kid, 3 years old, at an adult trauma hospital that picked up a family gun and shot himself, and he survived. But the ramifications for this young man, 3 years old, is going to be forever.
Diebel fought back tears, talking about the people he's treated in the trauma unit over the last 40 years, even invoking working during Devil's Nights back in the 80s. He says that the key to fixing this issue of guns is about attitudes.
It's more than gun safety. It's more than more laws about guns. It requires a change of heart, a change in our consciousness about the value of human life. We tend to, with everything that happens in our world, we see human life being devalued. And I think we need to go back to basics, that every human life has value.
So often when this statue is clad in a shirt or jersey, it means a major win for the city of Detroit. Well, the advocates who are here today are hoping that putting this orange shirt on the Spirit of Detroit statue will eventually mean a victory against gun violence for the entire city. In downtown Detroit, I'm J. Scott Smith for Local 4.